name's Cathy Frederickson. I'm from Millwood Equestrian and I'm a certified saddle fitter. I'm going to talk to you today about some different types of saddles. This is a dressage saddle, and some of the defining characteristics are a longer, straighter flap because the rider's leg wants to be able to be longer and lower around the horse's barrel area. It's characterized by a deeper seat with a more swooping cantle, a lifting cantle that helps to hold the rider in a much smaller centralized position on the horse. This particular saddle has got modern webbing. You can see that the saddle is quite soft and it's comfortable. The seat of the saddle is quite comfortable to sit in. It's got an open pommel head, but not the characteristic complete cutback. This saddle still has the old-fashioned bar that is able to open and close, as opposed to some of the newer J bars that we'll be able to show you at some point. And it is a traditional flap. When you lift the flap, you can see that the girthing is one of the more modern options, with this strap being forward and attached into the point pocket, to the tree through the point pocket, called a point strap, and this one on what would traditionally have been your third billet. So it makes a Y shape that helps to stabilize the saddle this way, particularly on large, round horses. This is a very nice example of a modern all-purpose or general-purpose saddle. It's been modified and improved to accommodate riders who want to be less specialized. Again, you've got the modern seating, which is webbed and has a foam panel so that it's very comfortable to sit in. You can see that the seat opens to give the rider a very comfortable width so it's not putting pressure on the seat bones. And the overall look of it is also a little bit more open seat so that you can jump comfortably in it, but not so open and not so flat as a specialized jump saddle, to give the rider a little bit of support and stability as they're learning to ride, as they're riding green horses, or as they're just wanting to be comfortable and not worry about staying in the tack. This saddle has the new, more modern J bar on it. You can see that the stirrup leather fits in very nicely, and it's easy to adjust, but it's quite stable, so you don't have that hinging piece anymore. And under the flap is a very interesting and pretty modern feature. This is Velcro, and this is Velcro, and you can see that you can Velcro these blocks on and off. You can take them off completely, which this knee roll has got no block on it, or you can put very small ones on. You can put your blocks high, medium, low. It gives you a tremendous amount of adjustability, and I think this is a great feature in new saddles. The billeting has, you can see that this is where the conventional 1, 2, 3 billets were positioned, and this billet is a point strap, and it has been repositioned for a very wide horse. And this again gives you that wide positioning and more stability. On your narrower spine and rib cage horses, you may not see this Y-shaped billeting, but it's beginning to be more and more available so that you can use it for different horses. This is a jumping specialty saddle that has been designed for not just comfort, but also for adjustability on multiple horses. Again, we've got the lovely seat. It's more open. The tree's not quite so curved. This has got a gusseted panel so that it really supports the horse width-wise, but also depth-wise this way, and features the modern J-hook. The interesting part about this saddle and the notable thing, you can see how forward the flap is cut compared to the other saddle, so it gives the rider a lot of stability and a lot of support in their jumping position. The blocks are permanent on the back, but they have a Velcro insert on the front. You can often change these. And the interesting thing to note is the mono flap. Now, what we were used to seeing originally was the girth itself, or the bullet straps themselves, stitched onto the leather here, and often stitched back in this area of the saddle. And two things happen then. Over the course of time, the direct exposure to the horse's sweat and heat compromises the stitching, because they're not stitched up and attached to the tree generally. They're only attached to the leather in this area. And so this can become a safety hazard after a period of time. You want to really pay attention to the stitching and the level of security that you've got on those monoflap billets. The other thing was the positioning was a fixed position. The saddle would look great on the rack, and you'd put it on the horse, and the billets being back here would cause the saddle to sit like so, to rock back and to sit back on the horse, because the billet would pull it forward. With this modern design, this is what you want in your monoflap. You want pockets that allow your billets to be adjusted so that it can go this far forward and find the billeting channel. It can go this far forward, and it again gives you a little bit of that Y shaping and stability. This is a great feature, and it's something, if you love monoflaps, it's something you should seriously investigate.